We have lived as if in a trance. We have lived as people in fear. And now, our rights and our freedoms in peril, we slowly awaken to learn that we have been afraid of the wrong thing. A government more dangerous to our liberty than is the enemy it claims to protect us from.
And I just hope and wish people in the United States will wake up to the big lie that is 9/11.
I really believe our government, from the very beginning, was in on this.
Where's Ron Paul? I heard that on the 17th of this month, George passed an executive order that says you can, if you protest the Iraqi war, you can have your assets.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry to cut you off. Balloontown, Connecticut.
Law ever become a reality in America? Some fear any nuclear, biological, or chemical attack on U.S. territory might trigger just that. And as KSLA News 12's Jeff Farrell discovered, the clergy would help the government with potentially their biggest problem, us.
From my cold, dead hand.
Charlton Heston's famous declaration captures a truly American value, the overarching desire to protect our freedoms. But gun confiscation is exactly what happened during the state of emergency following Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. U.S. troops also arrived, something far easier to do even now thanks to last year's elimination of the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. That forbid U.S. troops from policing on American soil. If martial law were enacted here at home, like depicted in the movie The Siege, easing public fears and quelling dissent would be critical. And that's exactly what the Clergy Response Team, as it's called, helped accomplish in New Orleans.
Jeff, the primary thing that we say to anybody is let's cooperate and get this thing over with, and then we'll settle the differences once the crisis is over.
Such clergy response teams would walk a tightrope between the needs of the government versus the wishes of the public.
In a lot of cases, these clergy would already be known in the neighborhoods in which they're helping to defuse that situation.
For the clergy, one of the biggest tools that they will have in helping calm the public down or obey the law is the Bible itself, specifically Romans 13.
Because the government's established by the Lord, you know, and that's what we believe in the Christian faith. That's what's stated in the Scripture.
Civil rights advocates believe the amount of public cooperation may depend largely on how long they expect a suspension of their rights might last. Jeff Farrell, KSLA News 12 reporting.
According to Tuberville, during Hurricane Katrina, the clergy response team provided 38 chaplains a day around the clock at 8 different camps.
And they started pushing everybody back. Right. And I came out and I was doing, you know, my roommate and my friends, and they started pushing.
How many times were you with them?
Probably about 3 or 4. It was, you know.
I'm really Where did it hit?
Ricochet off my arm, on my stomach.
What were you doing?
Huh?
What were you doing?
I was taking a picture that way, and he's telling me to move this way, so. I guess taking a picture is illegal in this country.
They're lucky that the people reacted the way that they did. Right. I saw, like I said, women and children were going to the ground, men were going to the ground. I've seen friends who got beanbagged to the arm, huge welts on their arms, huge welts on their stomachs. This was a military-style operation where all of our tax dollars are at work for the brutalization of our people. This was a peaceful protest until they showed up.
Because of all the recent crime in Helena, West Helena, we're talking about robberies, home invasions, loitering, shootings, the mayor of Helena, West Helena has decided to impose a curfew, but only in certain areas, and that applies for everyone, no matter the age and no matter the time. If you're caught violating curfew, there's a chance you could wind up behind bars.
We're afraid that somebody's going to get seriously hurt by what's going on. This curfew is for all people. Everybody is subject to stop and investigation. It's almost akin to martial law.
And that's exactly what some are calling it. For now, 2nd Street and several streets surrounding it will look just like this. And if you're caught outside without a good enough excuse,
it's zero tolerance. They're going to jail.
An idea that's fine by Martha Coleman.
You never know where a bullet is going to go. You never know who house is going to hit, what person is going to hit. And, you know, sleeping on the floor because you don't know where a bullet is going to, you know, go to. It might come in my house. It might come in my neighbor's house. So I commend the Helena, West Helena Police Department.
But others say instead of addressing the problem,
it's just going to make it worse.
And some say instead of home sweet home, the past 24 hours,
it's been like jail. You can't come out your own home. You can't go to the store without getting stopped by the police and questioned and harassed.
While Richard Robinson applauds the city's efforts,
I think the idea is good to stop the crime, but I think the way that the police department is handling the situation is all wrong. When the police come by and tell you when you own your own property or not, that you cannot come outside, I think that's martial law and that can only be inflicted by the National Guard. That's my opinion on it.
But after several rapes, robberies, and shootings, Mayor James Valley says he's exhausted all the possibilities. And he says this is the best move to turn around what some are calling a very rough area.
This turf belongs to the taxpaying citizens, not to the drug dealers and the hustlers. And we're going to pop them in the head.